Welcome back to the show. Let's talk to David Buik, Senior Market Commentator for Panmure. Good morning to you, David.
And again,
right.
hello, Moose.
BP reported this morning, beat numbers, share buyback, pushed the FTSE back above 7,500, oil back above $60. Okay, recovery story.
Very much so. It's been a terribly disappointing stock in the last year. Up until this morning, and when I left the office, I think it was up 3.5%. But it was only up 5% on the year. But in the last 2 years, 2 months, it's up 50%. So Bob Dudley, who's had a really horrific job, received terrible punishment from the press, dreadful punishment about how much he earns, and incidentally, he deserves every single penny that he gets because of the recovery situation, because his relationship with the senior members of the Russian government, which is so incredibly important, not only from an oil perspective, but also from keeping the lid out of these things getting out of hand. And he has done a phenomenal job. Now, Moose, that we've seen the Gulf problem, Horizon, which has cost over $40 billion, almost finally put to bed, not quite. Hopefully, we can see some proper expansion plans going forward. And providing the price of oil doesn't fall out of bed below the $50 level, too far below, I think we can expect pretty decent figures going forward. And I think you're going to see pretty much the same from Shell on Thursday, who we're expecting its profits to double on the same period of last year.
Do you think there's a chance that a predator will come in and actually take them out now?
Personally speaking, this is where I'm probably the kiss of death, but I think hell's got a better chance of freezing over than that happening.
So
I cannot see BP being bought by anybody apart from ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil couldn't do that without borrowing grillions of dollars. And I don't think the synergy is necessarily there. They've both got interests in the Arctic, they've both got interests in Russia, and I don't see the synergy there being there to the same degree. All right, they've got different areas where they are strong, but I think the British government would say absolutely not.
Yep.
As Mrs. May has said, now you've got to make a really good case if you want to buy a British company. And also Greg Clark's paper that's come out saying, that they will be giving serious scrutiny to anybody who wants to come over and buy a UK company. I'm all for a free marketplace, but you have to make a really strong case. And in the current climate, I don't think the UK government would even give it the time of day.
Right. So the final points on that, in Q4, do the oils basically lead the FTSE to make new highs into year end?
It's got to be pretty much that, or dollar-related stocks, really. I mean, I think even though we've seen that AstraZeneca has been very disappointing as a performer, I beg your pardon, GSK has been very disappointing as a performer. I think overall, if you take into account Shah and GSK and Astra all put into one, they will make a contribution. The tobaccos will do pretty well. And don't forget your bank earnings. Your bank earnings, HSBC, look at yesterday's figures. They were very, very impressive. And they're unlikely to get worse, particularly now the emphasis is away from the UK and the United States and very much in Asia with 70% of their business. Look for dollar-related stocks. The rest of it, I'm not too sure because I'm very worried about supermarkets. I think their margins are getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. A huge number of shorts out there, whether it's on Morrison, less on Tesco and Sainsbury's, but it's still there. We've also already seen yesterday that Asda changed its chief executive, that Roger Burnley is taking over from Sean Clarke, so things are not absolutely tickety-boo in that area. But apart from that, I think if dollar remains pretty firm, the FTSE earnings should be okay.
Understood, David. Thank you very much indeed.